Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. Today, we're talking about the word unencumbered. Unencumbered. And we're talking about this word because it means to let go of things, not to carry such a heavy weight on your shoulders. At this time of year, many people run around buying lots of presents, buying lots of food, which within a day will all be gone. The reality here in the UK is that most of us spend Christmas alone. Married people often don't have children. Single people don't really want to be associated with their families. They would prefer to be traveling to another country, perhaps. And the result is that this illusion of being encumbered makes us all feel a little bit stressed. The shops are open from the 26th of December. The only day things are really closed is on the 25th. So if you wanted to do your Christmas shopping on Christmas Eve, which is the 24th, life resumes again on the 26th or 27th. So there isn't really a lot to feel encumbered about. I can tell you that early December, I was feeling very encumbered. I wanted to pack up some boxes to send to friends in other countries. I had to choose some Amazon gifts, and the whole thing was rather cumbersome, especially since there was a postal strike looming, and I wanted to make sure everyone received their presents on time. Since that time, this idea of having to buy more food and having to prepare for Christmas has also made me feel very encumbered. But the reality is, Christmas is one day, 2 days maximum. There really isn't anything left to feel encumbered about. Yes, it's true that I do have a feeling of wanting to rush to the supermarket this morning and buy more things, but yet I have everything I need. All my Christmas cards are sent, all my parcels are sent, and I can easily send Amazon gift cards as a last moment. So this cumbersome feeling that more needs to be done is indeed rather illusionary. And when we put all that into a picture of the fact that I will be with my immediate family at Christmas, there will only be 2 of us, then I don't really see why my mind is telling me again to rush away to the supermarket. Besides, half the world doesn't celebrate Christmas, but on the media, I'm receiving this message again and again. Happy Christmas, you should be happy. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. But if one person's idea of celebration is lying drunk on Christmas afternoon, that idea certainly isn't mine. So I think it's time to begin to let go of that feeling of being encumbered, to embrace a feeling of being unencumbered. To be unencumbered is when you let go of things and realize that enough is enough. You've been carrying the weight too long, and now you can let it go. When it comes to language learning, many people feel encumbered. They know that they have many words to learn. A lot of practice has to be made. Books have to be bought. And they sometimes look at the table. They see 3 or 4 English books which haven't been read. They see text which they don't understand. And there's an overwhelming feeling of being encumbered. One way to unencumber yourself and to let go of those cumbersome feelings is to simply try to realize that language learning is not about taking the words and pushing them into your mind. Language learning is a time of great joy because you get to meet people you wouldn't normally speak to. You get to do an action which is very personally yours. But you must remember too that language needs humanity to share it with. It's not something between you, your mind, and the book. It's between you, the language, and all of the other people that you want to share it with. Thinking in this way helps you to feel unencumbered when you're on your language journey. In the same way, if I take this kind of view at Christmas time, where Europe and other parts of the world are celebrating, I can feel unencumbered knowing that this process is being celebrated by many other people around the world too. When cumbersome feelings come upon me, often what I do is just stop doing everything. I sit down and for 5 minutes, I just quieten my mind. And usually I get some little insights into why I feel so encumbered by particular problems. I usually find that it's not because of my behavior that I feel encumbered, but it's because of how I feel my behavior should be. So, for example, at Christmas time, there's this strong message that I should be out buying more things for more people because that brings joy and happiness. But yet, that's not, strictly speaking, true. The feeling of stress often comes from comparing myself as to how the media tells me I should be. When these two things conflict, then I feel sad because I feel like I'm not doing enough. We're told that to learn English, you really need to be sitting for 1 hour a day with pen in hand, staring at an English book, or at least trying to give English an hour of your time. But yet, in reality, do you think many of us learn that way? We've all been there, staring at that book for an hour, but at the end of the week, have we really learned much? It's true that if you've written something, you may indeed be on your way with writing, but does that help you speak? No. And then we go on social media and we see all these people sitting happily, whether at English schools or whether they are at home, all staring into books, all looking very happy. We see advertisements for courses which claim we can learn language, English in 1 month, English in 2 months. The very famous course, English in 3 months. And of course, there's Duolingo, which insists that we play with it every day. Otherwise, we get reminders that we are failing. So there's this constant feeling of what we are doing isn't enough. It's not comparing well to what social media or marketing tell us we should be doing to be successful. For Christmas, it leads to a feeling of being very encumbered, that we're not doing enough. With language learning, it's the same. So how do we unencumber ourselves, whether it's at holiday time or with language learning? It's quite simple. You just step back from the problem for 5 or 10 minutes and realize that the problem is not your language learning, the problem is your thinking about your language learning about how it's comparing to other people's language learning. This idea of why am I still not able to talk like that weather forecaster on British TV? If you're feeling like that today, just take a step back and unencumber yourself from these cumbersome feelings. Give yourself 5 minutes, make a little plan if you want, just about what you're going to achieve today, and try to stick to it. That's all. So these long-term plans, these wonderful ideas that were being sold, isn't always the best way to go. Whether you give English 5 minutes a day or 5 hours a day, you can achieve the same thing if you're calm and relaxed. So stop comparing yourself, unencumber yourself today, and enjoy the holidays. See you.